Hello, everyone. This is episode 3 of the Talon. I am Russ Wright, and with me today I have Coach Kody Howard and player Kevin Gross. How are you gentlemen doing today?
Doing good.
Pretty good.
First of all, I want to thank both of you for taking the time to hang out with me this morning, just answer a few questions, and just have a good time here. So let's just go ahead and just get started. Coach, this first question is for you. What exactly inspired you to become a coach?
I think that's an easy answer. I grew up, my dad was a football coach for 15 plus years growing up. I was on the sideline. I always knew from day one, you can ask anybody that's known me my whole life, I always knew I wanted to coach, just didn't know what sport. And I grew up and I was 5'9", 150 pounds, and realized football wasn't for me, and I'd be a pretty good basketball manager. So I decided just to hand out water bottles and fell in love with basketball.
Nice. And did you play any sports, or are you just basketball only?
Played the main 3, I guess you can say, American sports growing up all the way until high school: baseball, football, basketball, and then just stuck with basketball when I went to high school.
Sweet. And how long have you been coaching?
This is my 10th year, believe it or not. Luckily, shout out to Lake County. When I was 22, they hired me the first go-around to work here. So I was a head coach at 22 and 33 now in my 10th year and loving it.
Sweet. So you mentioned your dad being a big influence on you being on the sidelines of his coaching, but who else would you consider to be really big influences in your career in the sport of basketball, et cetera?
This is going to be the cliche answer for anyone that knows me, because I name drop him a lot, but Coach Mahaffey at Dyersburg, like a second dad to me. He told me my senior year of high school, the day you graduate college, I'm going to hire you if you want to come back. And he did me one better. He somehow called the dean of MTSU, him and the superintendent at Dyersburg, and got my student teaching at Dyersburg. And so I got to coach when I was student teaching. And people that don't know, you're not supposed to be able to student teach where you graduated high school from. And somehow he finagled that. And he literally, in 3 or 4 interviews that I've been at in my career, I've been told I don't even get an interview if he's not a reference of mine. So he has the biggest influence outside of my dad on my career.
Wow, that's amazing.
Pretty cool story. I love telling it. People will probably get tired of hearing it, but I'll tell it until the good Lord takes me away.
Well, this is my first time hearing it, there you go. Probably his too. So there you go. So,
the guys have heard it a lot.
Yes.
We go and play at Dyersburg a lot, so the guys hear it a lot.
So you've been coaching 10 years. I know Lake County and is it Shelbyville?
Shelbyville, Chester County, Dyersburg Middle School, and one stint in Dodge City, Kansas, coaching college. Yeah. Been around the block, baby.
I didn't know about the Dodge City.
Dodge City, Kansas, where it was minimum 30 miles per hour winds every day. So I got pretty good at golf, I think. So, my best friend hired me out there, and now he's a Division I college coach. So shout out to him for giving me that opportunity.
Wow, that is cool. Out of your 10 years and being in all these different places, do you have any moments that just stick in your head?
Being hired back here, Mike Moore, our principal, told me the day I left back in 2017, if he's ever the principal and the job comes open and I'd like to come back, he would do whatever it takes to bring me back. And what do you know? The job came open. I called him and said, do I have a legit shot? He said, man, put your resume in. Went to my interview, and he called me a week later, and I was nervous to answer it. But I said hello, and his exact words were, are you ready to come home? And my life's been full circle. I'm back to where I'm supposed to be, and my guys know this. If you do things the right way in our profession, other schools see it. And I had a couple schools call me last spring, and there's no way I'm leaving Lake County. This is where I want to be. And I think finally on the court, the guys are starting to see the results of, having a guy that wants to be here. And once they realize for sure that I'm not leaving them, man, it turned a corner in our program, just my personal opinion.
No, understand. That was the consistency, to me, would have to be the first thing you need to be a coach to begin with. If you don't have consistency, they're not going to play consistently. Yep. I'm
a big believer in routine. My guys know every Wednesday we're out at the Bell. Starting next week, we'll be back in the weight room, KD. Wednesdays are our day to shoot, lift, go home. I'm a big routine and that type of guy too. Yeah, I'm with you.
So I know I played soccer, and I know when I'm mentally preparing for a game, I'm trying to clear my head, and I was trying to make sure I exercised and stretched, even though I didn't run a lot. I was the goalkeeper. I just stood there and watched the game most of the time. But how does a coach mentally prepare for a game?
Ooh, that's the toughest question you're going to ask me.
Harder than Dairy Queen or Sonic for Gordon last week?
Hey, I think so, because Gordon was under the 8 ball. He had me behind him with some pressure. But I think that's the hardest thing. I asked again, going back to the coach at Dyersburg, I asked him my very first game at Lake County in 2015. I said, I never was nervous playing. Why am I nervous coaching? He said, because at the end of the day, you have no control. Your players got to go out. So I don't really think, as a coach, you ever really know if you're 100% prepared, because you don't know if your best player's girlfriend broke up with him last night and he's messed up in the head. I mean, those are real things us coaches, KD's over here laughing, us coaches think about that. Because at the end of the day, girlfriends are undefeated. We know that.
Undefeated.
Happy wife, happy life, right, Mr. Wright?
That is correct, especially if Amy is listening. That is correct.
So I don't know how to answer that question besides I'm nervous for every game, and I just hope our guys have the juice every night.
So is it nerves or more just you're ready to play, ready to get over with? Like, how does that? I've never
100% nerves, because at the end of the day, my career wins and losses, I'm counting on these 14 through 18-year-olds, which I love them, but I've been a 14 and 18-year-old before. Consistency is hard at that age, because as an adult, it's hard for us, right?
Yeah.
It's hard for us to be consistent
and
every day.
girlfriends were undefeated then, too.
100%. We're not going to get on that track. No,
we're not. Kody, I'm going to kind of give you the same question. You've heard how Coach Howard mentally prepares for a game. What do you do on a game day? Just routine. How do you prepare?
Man, before a game, I listen to like some of my favorite music. Yeah, try to clear my mind. Just lock in.
That works. Music clears my head too.
Coolest thing about KD, he starts at our point guard, and if Jatavion, our 5 big man, gets in foul trouble, he goes from our point guard to our backup center. So that's a pretty cool thing about him. He better be mentally prepared every game.
Sounds like it. Coach, definition of teamwork.
Not caring who scores, just wanting to win. And that's our biggest thing. While we've won 3 games out of 4 early this season, we've had a different leading scorer every game, and I love it.
So you don't have just one person scoring all the points. You've got a nice mix of scorers.
Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure I heard that right.
Yeah.
Basketball, disclaimer, is not my sport. It's the only one I don't know that much about. I know Michael Jordan played.
Hey, soccer coaches have told me soccer is basketball with your feet, so I guess it's soccer with your hands.
That's what
they talk about angles and stuff.
Soccer with, okay. That makes sense. Huh. KD, same question. When you hear the word teamwork, what do you think about?
And teamwork, just working together, not wanting to play like as one man show, try to show out for the crowd, whatever. Play as a team, just wanting to win, not just about the points.
I have a good example of that. Last night, we almost blew a 15-point lead against Halls. We missed 9 out of 10 free throws in a row, and in the timeout, every single player on the court said, Coach, Xander has not missed a free throw. Get him the ball. And that's what we did, and Xander didn't miss a free throw down the stretch. Yeah, KD's dapping me up for that one.
They might have heard it. I don't know. Man, I had another question to ask. So you play football as well.
Yes,
Is
sir.
there a different teamwork I know it's a different game and different mental set, obviously, but do you prepare the same way? Is teamwork the same? Like, do you feel the same way about both sports, I guess is what I'm asking.
Football is more like, you just got to know your role, like know your job each play. But yeah, don't try to show out, just don't try to do too much. Just know your role and go with the play.
How do you feel as a player knowing that every game there's been a different higher score? It's not, I know it's easy for a team to put a person out there and go, that's our person, and a lot of times that person's deserved it and worked for it and owned it. How does that make you feel as a player here that you are all able to be a high-scoring player?
Man, it feels great not just having to, depend on one person, Having 4 guys around me that can score the ball. Yeah.
Cool. Coach, any specific goals other than winning all the games and going to state and all that good stuff? Any goals for the season? Obviously, there are going to be goals every year.
We're not even talking about state or nothing like that. We have one goal, And every time we break it down, we say one goal, and it's simple. Lake County has not played for a district championship since Zay Coleman played here, and that's one of our coaches now, if people don't know. So our one goal is to play for a district championship. When we get to that goal, man, then we'll start talking about winning the dang thing. But, man, it's baby steps. We're not trying to come out here and be world beaters. We're going to take it one game at a time and try to get to that one goal. Then you get to that one goal, man, then you're really set up nicely to have a chance to make a run at the big thing. But we don't talk 1 second about a place we hadn't been in 10 plus years. We're trying to get to a goal that we know we can make this year, and once we get there, then we can expand on that.
And just for clarification for people who may not know, how long has it been? I know you said since one of the coaches,
yeah.
but how many years is that?
Since 2012, because 2013 we were state runner-up but didn't play for a district championship that year.
So we're looking to break a 10, 11-year streak here.
So this is going to be technically the 25 season, so that's 13 basketball seasons since Lake County. And I grew up Lake County 120 to 30 games a year.
I forget 25's coming up.
Yeah.
20. I know how to add and subtract.
He is a math teacher, too.
Leave me alone. All right. KD, same question. Do you have any specific goals? Maybe not as a team, but just for you. Are there any specific goals for you specifically with basketball?
Man, I want to get better, throughout the season, but I ain't really got no specific goal that I'm, set on. I just want to, get to our team, go a district championship. Yeah.
That's a goal. Yeah. That's a goal. All right. And then what do you think would be your biggest challenges going into – I say going into the season. We're already a few games in, but any big challenges?
Four of 30 has been played, so we can still say going into the season.
Yeah.
I think it's very simple. It's literally just staying together and not listening to outside noise because, let's be honest, I want to win them all, but that's going to be very hard to do. Our next slip-up, whether it be tonight or 2 months down the road, are we going to let one slip-up, one bad night, change us back into the team we were a lot of the year last year? And I don't think that's going to happen because we got beat last week and then literally played Halls again, and my guys proved to me that they're bought into what I'm selling them.
All right. And what is the next day? You've got a really good team. Sounds like a lot of good, camaraderie. Do you see a difference in attitude the day after a win and a day after a loss, or is it the same?
Definitely different. They're a lot more hungry. They want that feeling again. I tell them all the time, a big reason I got into coaching is I'm addicted to the feeling of winning. So I just keep telling them all the time, get that addiction. Addictions aren't usually good, but being addicted to winning, I never get mad at anybody about that.
And KD, how do you feel about that? That's pretty good logic there from your coach. How do you feel about that?
Like the moves after a win and a loss?
Yeah, how do you feel? I mean, obviously, after you win a game, you feel better than after you lose a game. But when you lose a game, are you beating yourself up? Or are you going, I should have done this, I should have done that? Like, what's it like in your brain?
Yeah, after a loss, you really kind of sit back and think about it, especially when you go home and, you just by yourself. But, man, after a win, yeah, feels pretty good. You just want that same feeling every day, every night.
And one thing I've noticed, and this isn't a basketball, this is a Lake County culture, I think. You're the third coach I'm interviewing in 3 weeks, and after a loss, I don't hear it's their fault, pointing fingers. You just accept it and try to get better, and I think that says a lot for the coaches throughout the school, is no one's pointing fingers and trying to blame. KD's not blaming a teammate because he messed up or whatever. So I think that speaks highly of all of you.
Yeah, I think we got the right coaches in the school system that truly want to be here and don't look at this as a stepping stone job, and that just correlates to everything you just said.
Cool. Favorite team?
Tennessee all day, every day. Go Vols.
Yeah, that's the wrong answer. All right, KD, I'm kidding. KD?
Man,
favorite team, college, sports,
Yeah. Tennessee, man. Go Vols, man.
Let's go.
Okay. Enough of that. I'm kidding.
All right, go Falcons.
There you go. KD, who is one of your favorite players growing up? Football, basketball, whatever. Is there someone you've looked up to or inspired, not maybe inspired to be, but really want to do your best to be?
And, watching basketball growing up, man, it had to be Brian. He's just one of those great ones. You know, you always wanted to be like somebody that could do it all, like dribble, shoot, anything you needed. Yeah, it was Brian though.
Nice. I forgot. I do know who that is.
I do not
too.
second that. Kobe all day over
I was
here.
fixing to ask you the same question, but I knew it was Kobe already.
Yeah, Kobe, the mindset, the Mamba mentality. I mean, that's it.
Y'all have named 2 of 3 basketball players.
That you know, and you know
Yes.
Michael Jordan.
Well, Larry Bird played.
Okay, there we-
Scottie Pippen, Dennis
Magic.
Rodman.
Come on
Yeah.
now. Give yourself
see?
some credit, Mr.
Well,
Wright.
those are the people, Dennis Rodman's in the NWO. That's a wrestling thing.
There we go.
Yeah.
So
We need Coach Short in here for this wrestling talk.
we do, yeah. Dennis Rodman's NWO for life still. All right. Well, that is really just, I think that sums up a pretty good interview, and I'm excited for the basketball season. Do y'all get any breaks during Christmas? Or y'all play during Christmas?
We play next weekend in Paragould, Arkansas, a little pre-Christmas tournament. Then we'll play Caruthersville December 17th. They'll have off until the day after Christmas, so they'll have good 7-8 days off, and then we come back and go to Huntington for a Christmas tournament.
Does that happen
birthday.
often, getting a break like that, or is this just one of those things that just schedule worked out?
Again, my coach, my senior year at Dyersburg, gave us a week off, and he said, man, y'all got to have some time to be kids, and I always appreciated that, and I always want to do that. So I'm going to sacrifice some practice time to let kids be kids, and, hey, let Coach go out and actually live a life for a couple days, too, and get it off my mind, because we need to, sometimes we can live it too much sometimes, and it's good to get away.
I understand that. All right, well, gentlemen, again, I appreciate your time this morning. That wraps up episode 3. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.